Alright, so here we are with the Cheetah 300. I'm making this video. I'm going to display my ignorance and maybe save somebody some money. Alright, so this is the shock that comes on the Cheetah 300. It's 325 millimeters long. So I found the next, I found one that is the right length that I wanted, 360 millimeters, and it has a bigger spring on it. I measured the diameter of the spring, and the length should work, if you can see, but it doesn't actually jam into the hole. I can't get there because it's just all over too big. So if you see these and you've taken this path that I've gone and said, oh wow, 360 shock, that should fit. The considerations, the things that I didn't take into consideration are: one, the eye, I don't know what you call it, eye mount, the mount. Let's see here if I can get this. That's not going to fit into the bracket. I might, I might be able to make that work myself. I mean, I could grind it or whatever and probably get it in there. But the overall size of the shock, I guess the diameter where it fits up in here, has to clear left and right, and I did not take that into consideration. So no win on these. I think these were 89 bucks, and I can't remember if it's eBay or Amazon. Anyways, if you've got a Cheetah 300 EX, or I suppose X is the same, the E I think gives you mirrors and a little light and a windshield, and you're looking at these, like I say, I'm pretty sure they're 89 bucks. It's not going to help. And that's well, I got more information here if anyone cares. So if you're an idiot, I'm going to display my ignorance again. So I got this thing stuck in the mud, the Cheetah, and because you drive forwards, the front wheel was the one that was stuck in the mud. There's still actually mud on here, I noticed, stuck to the A-arm. Didn't hit it with the hose, I guess. Good enough. Anyways, I buried this wheel. The back wheel was pretty much buried too. The other wheels were fine. So I needed to go backwards because there is more mud in front of the buggy, and all the dry stuff was behind. So I took my winch and I ran it underneath the buggy and tried to pull to the rear with the winch, and it just sheared this cable. It didn't move an inch, not at all, just whoosh, right in half. And I looked in the instructions, and it says that you can't be more than 15 degrees off from straight. So, and looking at this, this here, it's actually over on this side where it's snagged, but it I guess your cable can't make that kind of a turn. So if you're in that kind of a situation, don't bother. Do something else. Pull yourself through the mud if you can do it, I guess. This has prompted me to get a shovel. I replaced this cable. I went to Harbor Freight Tools, and they had the cable, but they didn't have the swagger tool, which is like a giant pair of bolt cutter looking things. 100 feet of cable is double what this comes with, so I cut it in half. I got the cable cutters from Ace, and I got the crimp from Ace, which you can't see, and I reused this hook here. So if you end up in this situation, you can just, and you broke your cable in half, you can just go get another cable. It just sticks through the winch, and it folds over, and then as you tug it, that little loop like jams into a little hole in there, and it won't come out. And it's wrapped around it 50 billion times. So anyways, shock failure. I picked up a shovel at Amazon. Let me see here, as long as I'm going over my shopping. Let's get to the shovel in a minute. I thought these would be great for holding the headsets, so I put headsets in here, and it rained, and I went out the next day, and the headsets were wet, even though this is zipper close, so that's not going to work. But these are, the show on the website, them being mounted up under the roof in the corner here on the roll bar. So I'm going to move those up. Another special that once I got stuck in the mud, I had to fish around and try to find something to shovel with. So I got a survival shovel. It's got a pickaxe on it, who cares? But it folds, it assembles and becomes a shovel. So it'll take me a year to dig out a buggy like this with a shovel like that. It's a little small. A little disappointed in the size. But it's better than nothing. Second thing is, I think if I had had these gizmos, I think I could have gotten out of the mud. These Trackgrabbers go on your wheel thusly, and of course when it hits the dirt it bends and you'll get traction. That's the theory. They come in pairs. They hook on they go through your hubs, the holes in your hub with straps, and they lock down. I think that would have gotten me out of my jam if I'd had those. So another thing for the bag. The guy that came had I think it's called a soft clevis or something like that. Anyways, he wanted to use these things instead of just using the loop on the snatch strap. Whatever. So those go in the bag. That's all the buggy news. That's all I know. I'm really disappointed about the shocks not fitting. I assume that they look a lot like these shocks back here. I'm gonna assume that they're just replacements. I don't know how long these are. I'll measure these and put that in another video or something and see if they're good replacements for these. Because then I can just put them on the shelf, and if I ever blow these, then I got a pair of spares. Okay, that's all I know. Thanks for tuning in.